In a moment that can only be described as extraordinary, the chosen one's presence begins to shatter the disbelief that has long surrounded them, making way for a profound recognition. What was once dismissed as impossible or fantastical is now undeniable. Those who witness this event are not just observing a singular act of power, they are experiencing a global shift that redefines the boundaries of human understanding. This moment is not just about witnessing a display of ability, but rather about witnessing the arrival of something far greater, a divine presence that transcends the ordinary. The impact of this event reverberates through time, stirring the collective consciousness and challenging the very foundation of belief systems, cultures, and histories that have shaped humanity for centuries. This is a turning point where legends and prophecies, long whispered in secret, emerge into the light as undeniable truths. The chosen one is not a myth, not a distant figure in a tale, but a living, breathing force that commands the attention and reverence of all who stand in their presence. The atmosphere is thick with anticipation as time seems to pause, and every soul in the crowd instinctively knows that they are about to bear witness to something far beyond the human experience. The energy in the air is palpable, as if the universe itself is holding its breath, waiting for this revelation to unfold. And as this moment stretches into eternity, the realization settles. Humanity is no longer waiting for destiny to arrive. It is already here in the form of the chosen one. This is a sacred and significant moment, a moment where the world begins to awaken to the truth that has been hidden in plain sight. It is a moment of recognition not just of the chosen one, but of the divine potential that lies within every human being waiting for the right moment to rise. The time has come for the chosen one to step fully into their role, and the world must now align itself with the truth that is being revealed. This moment is not just about what is happening now, but about the profound impact it will have on the future of humanity. It is a call to each of us to recognize that we are part of something much larger than ourselves, and that the time for change, for growth, and for awakening is now. The truth is undeniable, and those who align themselves with this moment will witness the transformation of not just the world, but of their own lives. The chosen one's arrival is the key to unlocking a new era, an era of divine understanding, spiritual growth, and profound possibility. This is a moment that will be remembered for generations to come as the world stands on the precipice of a new reality, one where the divine and the human are no longer separated by the veil of myth and misunderstanding. The chosen one has come, and with them comes the power to change everything. At first, there was only disbelief. The world had never truly understood the magnitude of the chosen one's presence. To many, the idea of such power existing in human form was an abstract concept, a tale passed down through whispers and myths, something too grand to be grasped in the ordinary flow of life. It was easier to dismiss, easier to turn away, to believe that the extraordinary was a creation of our hopes and dreams. For so long, The chosen one was an enigma, a mysterious figure whose potential was cloaked in uncertainty. Skepticism had taken root in the hearts of many, for they had never seen such power manifested before them. It felt almost out of reach, beyond the boundaries of their comprehension. They could not fathom how a person could possess such extraordinary abilities, powers that defied the laws of nature and reason. Yet there they were standing in front of the world, breaking the very boundaries that had once kept them apart from the collective understanding. The disbelief was not simply the result of skepticism, but a defense mechanism, a way to protect oneself from the overwhelming nature of what was happening. For what happens when something that you thought was impossible stands before you? Undeniable real and undeniable, the human mind struggles to cope with the sheer magnitude of such a revelation. It becomes difficult to reconcile what you know with what you are now witnessing. And this is where the shift begins. The shift from disbelief to recognition is not just a simple change of mind. It is a shift in the very fabric of existence. The moment that the chosen one steps into the light, everything changes. The world stops in its tracks, and everything that once felt solid and sure begins to tremble. The recognition is slow at first, a gradual dawning upon the crowd, a feeling that moves through the air like a current gradually pulling at the hearts and minds of those who stand before them. It is as if an invisible force is lifting the veil of misunderstanding, allowing the light of truth to shine through. And when that light breaks through, the recognition is immediate, undeniable, and profound. Eyes widen, hearts race, and the collective breath is held. The moment is charged with an energy that cannot be ignored, and the witnesses can no longer deny the reality before them. They see the chosen one for who they truly are, an embodiment of power, wisdom, and divinity that transcends the human condition. It is a moment of revelation, one that opens the eyes of those who had been blinded by skepticism and doubt. It is as though the scales have fallen from their eyes and they can now see clearly for the first time. This is not just a recognition of the chosen one as an individual, but a recognition of something much greater. The recognition is a spiritual awakening, an awakening to the truth that has been hidden beneath the surface all along. It is a recognition of the divine potential within every human being. The potential that has always been there, but was obscured by fear, doubt, and disbelief. As the witnesses stand in awe of the chosen one, they realize that they are not just observing a single moment of power, but are participating in the unfolding of something far more significant. The event is not just an individual experience, but a collective one that affects the hearts and minds of all who bear witness. The impact of this recognition goes beyond the physical realm. It touches the very essence of the soul. The realization that the chosen one is not a myth or legend, but a living, breathing force of divine power has a ripple effect on the collective consciousness. It shifts the way people perceive themselves, their place in the world, and their connection to something far greater than themselves. No longer can they continue to live as if they are separate from the divine. The recognition of the chosen one is the recognition of the divine presence within all of us, waiting to be awakened. It is a realization that what was once hidden is now revealed, and that the time has come to embrace the truth of our own divinity. The collective consciousness begins to shift, to awaken to the possibilities that lie before them. This moment is not just about the chosen one, but about the awakening of humanity as a whole. It is a moment of collective realization that transcends time and space, uniting all who bear witness in a shared understanding. The event cannot be ignored. It cannot be explained away as coincidence or fantasy. It stands as a marker in history, a turning point where the impossible becomes possible and the hidden is brought into the light. The world can no longer pretend that it did not see what it has witnessed. The evidence is too strong, too overwhelming. It is as if the very laws of nature have shifted and reality itself has been rewritten. Those who had once dismissed the chosen one as a fantasy now stand in awe, unable to deny the power and presence that radiates from them. This is no longer a question of belief. It is a question of acceptance. The moment is undeniable and the impact is immediate. For those who are awake, this recognition is the first step in a spiritual awakening that will change the course of their lives. They are no longer mere observers. They are participants in a greater revelation, one that will shape the future of humanity. As the recognition settles into the hearts of the witnesses, something shifts within them. It is as if a door has been opened, and they are being invited to step into a new reality. They can no longer go back to the way things were. The world they once knew has changed, and they must now navigate a new understanding of themselves, their purpose, and the world around them. The recognition of the chosen one is not just about acknowledging their power. It is about acknowledging the power that lies within each of us. It is a call to action, a call to step into our own divine potential and embrace the truth that has always been there waiting to be revealed. This is the moment that sets the stage for the spiritual awakening that is about to take place. The time has come for the world to recognize the truth that has been hidden in plain sight, and for each individual to embrace the power that lies within them. The chosen one's arrival is not the end of the journey, it is just the beginning. And as this recognition spreads, the spiritual awakening that follows will transform the world in ways that no one could have ever imagined. As the recognition of the chosen one settles over the world, a deeper understanding begins to emerge, one that connects the present moment with the distant past. The arrival of the chosen one is not a singular event confined to the present. It is the fulfillment of prophecies and the awakening of ancient knowledge that has been encoded in the symbols, texts, and monuments of long-lost civilizations. These ancient prophecies, whispered through the corridors of time, have been waiting for this moment, the moment when their meaning would no longer be hidden, but would come to life before the eyes of humanity. The chosen one is not just an individual. They are the living embodiment of these ancient truths, a convergence of history, destiny, and divine purpose. Every civilization, every culture, and every spiritual tradition has carried within it the seeds of these prophecies, written in symbols that transcend language, embedded in rituals and sacred texts that have been passed down through the ages. And now, those ancient prophecies are coming to life. The symbols that once seemed mysterious and enigmatic are now being revealed in their full glory. The pyramids of Egypt, the ancient temples of Mesopotamia, the sacred writings of the Mayans, each holds within it the key to understanding the divine plan that is unfolding before our eyes. These symbols were never meant to remain hidden forever. They were always intended to be unlocked at the appointed time, and that time is now. As the Chosen One steps into the light, the symbols and prophecies that have long been preserved in silence are awakening, resonating deeply within the hearts of all who witness this moment. The energy of the universe seems to hum with the recognition of something sacred, something divine, something that transcends time and space. It is as if the very fabric of reality is shifting to accommodate the fulfillment of these ancient promises. Those who are present, those who are attuned to the subtle energies of the universe can feel it. The Chosen One is not merely a figure of power. They are the fulfillment of a cosmic alignment that has been set in motion for millennia. The prophecies that once seemed like distant dreams, like legends passed down through the ages, are now becoming tangible, undeniable, and real. The significance of this moment cannot be overstated. It is not just a confirmation of the Chosen One's existence. It is a revelation of the truth that has been hidden for so long. The ancient knowledge that has been safeguarded in temples and sacred texts is being revealed in real time in front of the eyes of the witnesses. It is as if the veil between the past and the present has been lifted, and the ancient world is speaking to us once again, urging us to recognize the truth that has always been there. For those who are open to it, this revelation is a profound experience, one that resonates deep within the soul. It challenges everything we thought we knew about our history, our purpose, and our connection to the divine. It forces us to confront the reality that we are not separate from the past, that we are not isolated in our own time, but that we are part of a much larger tapestry woven together by the threads of destiny. The ancient knowledge that is being revealed is not just a collection of facts or teachings. It is a living, breathing force that pulses with energy and wisdom. It speaks to us on a level that goes beyond intellectual understanding, reaching deep into our hearts and souls. It is a call to recognize our own divine potential, to embrace the truth that we too are part of this grand cosmic plan. As the ancient symbols come to life, we are reminded of the power of our own lineage, the power of our own ancestors, and the wisdom they carried with them. These prophecies were not meant to be buried or forgotten. They were meant to guide us, to show us the way. And now, they are here alive in the present, calling us to step into our own divine roles. The impact of this revelation is profound, not just for those who witness it, but for the entire world. The fulfillment of these ancient prophecies does not just affect the Chosen One, it affects all of humanity. It challenges our previously held beliefs, forcing us to confront the limitations we have placed on ourselves and our understanding of the world. It is as if the universe is saying, "You are capable of more. You are capable of the extraordinary." The ancient knowledge that has been revealed calls us to recognize our own power to understand that we are not simply passive observers in the unfolding of history, but active participants in the divine plan. This revelation is a turning point not just for the chosen one, but for all of us. It forces us to rethink our relationship with the divine, to recognize that the sacred is not distant, but right here within us and around us, waiting to be acknowledged. The symbols, the prophecies, and the ancient knowledge that have been hidden for so long are now accessible to all who are willing to see. They are no longer just relics of the past, but living wisdom that can guide us into the future. This is the power of the chosen one. They are not just a figure of divine power, but a bridge between the past and the future, between the known and the unknown. As the chosen one steps into the light, they bring with them the wisdom of the ages, the knowledge of the ancients, and the promise of a new era. This is not just a moment in time. It is the fulfillment of a divine plan that has been in the works for millennia. And as this knowledge is revealed, it transforms everything it touches. The world can no longer look at history the same way. The ancient civilizations that once seemed distant and irrelevant now hold the key to understanding our present and our future. The texts, the symbols, the prophecies that were once dismissed as myth or superstition are now recognized as sacred truths, guiding us into a new era of understanding and awakening. The chosen one's arrival is the key to unlocking this ancient wisdom. And as we stand on the precipice of this revelation, we are called to embrace the truth that has always been there. The time has come to see the world through new eyes, to recognize the power that lies within us, and to step into the future with the knowledge that we are part of something much greater than ourselves. The chosen one is not just an individual. They are the embodiment of the ancient wisdom that has been passed down through the ages. And as they reveal this wisdom to us, we are reminded that we too have a role to play in this divine plan. The ancient knowledge is not just for the chosen one, it is for all of us. It is a gift, a calling, and a reminder that we are all connected, that we are all part of the same divine story. And as this knowledge is revealed, it challenges us to rise to our highest potential, to embrace the power that lies within us, and to step into our own roles as co-creators of this new world. As the chosen one steps into the light, the world undergoes a seismic shift, one that reverberates through every individual soul present and through the very fabric of time itself. This is not just a moment of personal triumph or revelation. It is the culmination of centuries of prophecy, the fulfillment of the whispers of ancient legends that have long been etched into the heart of humanity's spiritual and historical journey. From the earliest scriptures to the oral traditions of forgotten cultures, the chosen one's arrival was prophesied long ago. These legends, once dismissed as myth or symbolic narrative, now come to life with undeniable power, resonating deeply with the collective consciousness of all who bear witness. The spiritual and historical impact of this moment cannot be overstated. It is as though the world has waited for this very moment, a moment where past and future converge in a singular revelation. The prophecies that were once hidden in the sacred texts of ancient civilizations, the Bible, the Vedas, the Mayan calendars, and beyond are now unfolding before the eyes of the present generation. These texts, these oral traditions, and these sacred inscriptions have always carried the promise of a divine intervention, a moment of awakening, a moment when the Chosen One would rise and lead humanity to a new understanding of itself and the divine. And now, as the Chosen One reveals their presence, all of these promises are being fulfilled. It is as if the very air is charged with the energy of history, fate, and destiny. The world is no longer merely a collection of separate histories and cultures. It is a tapestry woven together by the threads of prophecy, myth, and divine intervention. This convergence of fate and legend is not just an abstract concept. It is a living, breathing force that pulses through the hearts of all witnesses, drawing them into a shared experience of spiritual awakening. For those who are present, there is no doubt they are witnessing the fulfillment of something that transcends the ordinary flow of time and reality. As the Chosen One stands before them, there is a deep recognition that this is not just a person, not just an individual, but the embodiment of the divine plan that has been set in motion for millennia. In this moment, the boundaries between the past and the present, between the myth and the real, begin to dissolve. This is a moment of divine revelation, one that transcends all human understanding, forcing the collective consciousness to confront a truth so profound that it challenges everything previously known. As the witnesses stand in awe, they can feel it, an overwhelming sense of recognition, as if their souls are being awakened to something ancient, something eternal, something that has always been within them, but was hidden beneath the surface. This recognition is not just an intellectual understanding, but a visceral experience, a deep, soul-stirring truth that resonates with every fiber of their being. The convergence of fate, legend, and reality brings with it an emotional and spiritual reaction that is impossible to ignore. Some witnesses fall to their knees in reverence. Others weep with the realization that they are part of something much larger than themselves. It is as if the very fabric of their lives, their beliefs, and their understanding of reality has been unraveled and rewoven in an instant. The Chosen One's presence has touched them on a level far beyond the physical, reaching deep into their hearts and souls. It is a moment of spiritual rebirth where the past meets the future, where the long-awaited prophecy is no longer a distant dream, but a living, breathing reality. In this moment, time feels fluid, stretched beyond its ordinary limits. The present is not just an isolated point in time. It is the culmination of everything that has come before and everything that will come after. The witnesses are not just observing an event. They are experiencing a shift in reality itself. The world is changing before their eyes, and they are part of this transformation. As they stand there watching the Chosen One, they can feel their own consciousness expanding, awakening to a higher state of awareness. It is as if they are seeing the world through new eyes, eyes that are no longer bound by the limitations of human understanding. This moment forces a collective awakening, a mass realization that humanity's understanding of reality is limited, that what they have believed to be true is only a fraction of the whole. The Chosen One is a reminder that there is so much more to the universe, to the divine, and to human potential than they have been led to believe. The spiritual awakening that takes place in this moment challenges humanity to look beyond the surface, to question the established norms, and to embrace the unknown. It is a call to step into a new era, an era where the divine is not distant or separate from humanity, but is a living, breathing force that is fully present in the world. This awakening is not just about seeing the chosen one for who they are. It is about seeing oneself in a new light. The witnesses are not just recognizing the chosen one's divine presence. They are recognizing their own divine potential. The chosen one's arrival is a mirror reflecting back to humanity the truth of their own existence, that they are not separate from the divine, but are a part of the divine plan, connected to something far greater than themselves. The emotional and spiritual reactions of the witnesses are a testament to the power of this moment. The fear, the reverence, the awe, all of these emotions are part of the collective experience, a shared recognition of the profound truth that is being revealed. This is not just a personal revelation. It is a global awakening, one that reaches into the hearts of every individual, regardless of their background, culture, or beliefs. The chosen one's presence transcends all boundaries, all divisions, and brings humanity together in a shared experience of divine recognition. This moment challenges humanity's understanding of reality in ways that are difficult to comprehend. It forces us to confront the limitations of our current understanding and embrace a new, expanded vision of the world. The world we once thought we knew is not the world we are about to live in. The chosen one's arrival is the beginning of a new era, a new way of seeing the world, a new way of being. This is the moment when the impossible becomes possible, when the hidden is revealed, and when humanity is called to step into its true potential. The convergence of fate, legend, and reality has awakened something deep within every soul present, and that awakening will not be easily forgotten. It is a call to action, a call to rise up and embrace the divine truth that has been revealed. The world will never be the same again. The collective awakening that has begun will ripple through the fabric of human consciousness, transforming everything it touches. The chosen one's presence is the spark that ignites this transformation, and it is up to each of us to embrace the truth and step into the divine role that has always been ours to fulfill. As the chosen one stands in the midst of the crowd, there is an overwhelming silence that falls over everything. The air thickens, time itself seems to pause, and for a brief but profound moment, the entire world holds its breath. It is as though the very fabric of reality has stopped giving way to something far greater than what the eye can see or the mind can comprehend. The crowd, once filled with chatter and movement, is now still. There are no more distractions, no more thoughts racing through the minds of those who witness this divine moment. It is as if every individual is suspended in a timeless space caught between the known and the unknown, between the ordinary and the extraordinary. The stillness is palpable, a living force that holds the crowd in its grasp. It is not the silence of fear, nor is it the quiet of indifference. No, this silence is something altogether different. It is the silence of reverence, of awe, and of deep soul-stirring recognition. In this moment, there is a collective understanding that something divine is happening, something beyond the scope of ordinary human experience. The witnesses, as they stand in silent awe, are brought into a shared realization of the divine presence before them. Each heart, each soul, feels the pull of this truth, and without a single word being spoken, an unspoken bond forms between all who are present. This is not a solitary experience. It is a communal awakening. The collective consciousness of the crowd shifts in unison, as if the very energy of the universe has aligned, guiding them into a profound understanding of what is unfolding. The Chosen One's presence becomes not just something to observe, but something to be felt deeply, not just on the surface, but in the very core of each individual's being. It is a realization that cannot be explained, cannot be touched with mere words. It is something that can only be understood in the depths of the soul. As the witnesses stand there motionless, their thoughts quiet, and their breath held, they realize that this moment is not just about witnessing power. It is about witnessing something sacred. The silence is a recognition of that sacredness. It is a moment of collective realization that the divine has stepped into the realm of the human, and the two are no longer separated by the walls of myth and mystery. The barrier between the ordinary and the extraordinary, between the human and the divine, has been shattered. In the stillness, the Chosen One is not just an individual. They are the living embodiment of something greater, something that transcends time, space, and human understanding. And in this silence, the witnesses understand this truth deeply. It is as if the weight of history, of prophecies, of legends, all converge in this single holy moment. The silence speaks volumes, carrying with it the echoes of countless generations who have longed for this moment to arrive, who have waited for the divine to reveal itself in the midst of the human experience. The stillness is not empty. It is filled with the profound energy of recognition, of awakening, and of divine presence. It is a sacred space where the souls of all present connect with the divine truth being revealed before their eyes. Every heartbeat, every breath seems to echo the realization that something eternal is unfolding. It is as if the world itself is holding its breath, awaiting the next step in a cosmic dance, the next revelation that will shape the course of history. This silence does not exist in a vacuum. It is the backdrop against which the Chosen One's presence is felt most deeply. It allows the witnesses to absorb the magnitude of what is happening, to internalize the truth being revealed. It gives them the time and space to realize that they are not just witnessing an event, they are part of it. The Chosen One's arrival is not just a moment in history. It is a moment that transcends history itself, reaching back into the ancient past and forward into the future. The silence is a bridge between these realms, connecting the past, the present, and the future in a single, uninterrupted moment of divine presence. It is a space where time itself bends and where the soul can truly feel the magnitude of the revelation. As the silence stretches on, it is not an absence of sound, but a profound awareness of the divine energy that fills the space. It is as if the very air is alive with the presence of the Chosen One, vibrating with the energy of the cosmos, of creation, of destiny. Every soul present feels this energy, and it transforms them. The silence then becomes a form of communion, a shared understanding that surpasses words, surpasses human limitations. It is a recognition that the divine is not distant, not hidden, but right here, alive in this moment. It is a moment that calls every witness to pause, to reflect, and to realign themselves with the truth of their own existence. It challenges them to see beyond the limitations of their everyday lives and to recognize the divinity within themselves and within the chosen one. This silence is the precursor to a deep and transformative awakening, one that will forever alter the course of the lives of those who experience it. It is not a passive waiting, but an active preparation, a moment of readiness for the divine revelation that is about to unfold. As the witnesses stand in reverence, the stillness deepens their connection to the divine truth. They are no longer simply spectators. They are participants in the unfolding of something sacred, something eternal. They feel the weight of the moment, and in that weight, they feel the presence of the divine in a way that is visceral and real. The silence, then, is not a void. It is a full and vibrant space where every individual is invited to align themselves with the divine will, to open their hearts to the truth that is being revealed. It is a space where fear and doubt are silenced and where faith and reverence are born. The profound stillness that fills the air is not the absence of emotion. Rather, it is the birthplace of reverence. In this moment, each witness is not just observing. They are engaging with the divine in a deeply personal and intimate way. The silence allows for this connection, for the deep acknowledgement that the divine is here now in this space. As the moment stretches on, it becomes clear that this silence is not just a passive experience. It is an active call to each individual present to recognize the truth that has always been within them. The chosen one's presence is a catalyst for this realization, a trigger that awakens something deep within the hearts of those who witness it. This silence, this sacred pause, is the space where transformation happens. It is where doubt is replaced with certainty, where fear is replaced with reverence, and where the divine is no longer an abstract concept, but a lived experience. This collective realization will not fade. It will remain embedded in the hearts and minds of all who were present, shaping their understanding of the world and of themselves. The silence has already done its work. It has opened the hearts of the witnesses, allowing them to receive the truth in a way that cannot be taken away. And as the chosen one stands in their presence, the world is forever changed. The moment the chosen one reveals their presence, it is not with an eruption of force or an explosion of physical power. Rather, it is with a quiet yet undeniable display of mastery over the very essence of existence. This is not power as the world understands it, raw, aggressive, and dominating. Instead, it is a power that flows effortlessly like a current running through the universe, an energy so potent and pure that it bends the fabric of reality itself. It is not a power that demands attention, but one that naturally commands it, not through force, but through presence. The energy surrounding the chosen one is unlike anything ever witnessed. It doesn't merely touch the physical realm. It ripples through the very structure of reality, altering the way time, space, and energy are perceived. It is as though the ordinary laws of existence no longer apply in their presence. The Chosen One stands not as a figure of worldly strength, but as an embodiment of divine equilibrium, a perfect synchronization between the infinite and the finite, between the seen and the unseen. What is unfolding before the witnesses is not just a display of power, it is a manifestation of divine mastery, a demonstration that transcends all human understanding. This is not power in conventional terms. It is mastery over the essence of life itself, a mastery that bends the laws of nature to the will of the divine. The witnesses cannot fully comprehend the extent of what they are seeing, for this power is beyond their experience, beyond their perception of what is possible. The fabric of reality itself seems to stretch, twist, and reshape in response to the Chosen One's presence. Time itself feels fluid, as though it is not bound to the tick of the clock or the limitations of the present moment. In their presence, everything becomes timeless, eternal. It is as if the universe has paused, allowing the witnesses to experience the truth of existence in its purest form. This moment is not bound by time. It is a glimpse into something far greater, something that exists outside the linear constraints of human understanding. The energy radiating from the Chosen One is not just a feeling or a sensation. It is a force, a palpable presence that can be felt in every corner of the space, in the very air that surrounds them. It flows not just outward, but inward, touching the hearts, minds, and souls of all who are present. It awakens something deep within the core of every individual, a recognition that they are in the presence of something not of this world, something that transcends the limitations of their own human experience. The power of the Chosen One does not demand worship. It invites recognition. It is an energy that stirs awe and wonder, but not through fear. It is not the kind of power that makes one tremble in terror. Rather, it is a power that inspires reverence, respect, and admiration. The witnesses, though, overwhelmed by the sheer magnitude of what they are witnessing, feel a profound sense of connection, as if they are being elevated to a higher understanding, a deeper truth. This is not a power that oppresses, but one that liberates. It frees the mind from the shackles of doubt and disbelief. It liberates the soul from the constraints of the physical world, allowing it to experience something far more profound. The energy is not aggressive, it is inviting, as if it is calling each witness to embrace the fullness of their own potential, to recognize the divine spark that exists within them. As the power radiates outward from the Chosen One, it doesn't just alter the physical world around them, it alters perception itself. Reality becomes malleable in their presence. What was once considered impossible now seems plausible. What was once beyond reach now feels attainable. The witnesses find themselves perceiving the world in new ways, as if their senses have been heightened, as if their very understanding of existence has been expanded. The ordinary becomes extraordinary, and the mundane becomes sacred. In this moment, the Chosen One is not simply showing their power. They are showing the potential within all of us. They are not just an isolated source of divine energy. They are a mirror reflecting back to humanity the truth of their own divine potential. This is a power that transcends the individual. It is a power that belongs to the collective, a force that calls humanity to awaken to its own greatness, to step into the fullness of its divine purpose. The overwhelming sense of awe that fills the hearts of the witnesses is not just due to the chosen one's presence. It is due to the realization that this power is available to them as well. It is the recognition that what the chosen one embodies is not something distant or separate, but something that resides within each person, waiting to be awakened. The energy that radiates from the chosen one is not confined to them. It permeates everything and everyone in its vicinity, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond the immediate moment. It inspires change, transformation, and awakening. Those who stand in the presence of the chosen one are not merely witnesses. They are participants in the unfolding of a greater truth. As the power of the chosen one ripples outward, it acts as a catalyst, awakening dormant potential within those who experience it. It is as though the very essence of existence is calling out to them, urging them to remember who they truly are and what they are capable of. In this moment, the witnesses are not passive observers. They are active participants in the divine awakening that is taking place. The chosen one's manifestation of power is not just a demonstration of divine will. It is a reminder of the inherent divinity that exists within every human being. It is a call to recognize the deeper truth of existence, to step beyond the limitations of the physical world, and to embrace the infinite potential that lies within. This power, though overwhelming in its presence, is not something to fear. It is a power to be revered, a power to be respected, and a power to be understood. The chosen one's display of mastery is not an isolated event. It is a living, breathing reminder of the infinite possibilities that exist within the universe, waiting to be realized. As the power radiates from the chosen one, it brings clarity to the hearts and minds of those present. It clears away the fog of doubt and uncertainty, leaving in its wake a deep sense of understanding and purpose. The overwhelming awe that fills the witnesses is not just a response to what they see. It is a recognition of something deep within themselves, a remembrance of the divinity that they too carry. The chosen one is not separate from humanity. They are a part of humanity's greater journey. The power that they manifest is not a power that is exclusive to them. It is a power that is available to all who are willing to step into their own divine purpose. As the witnesses stand in awe of the chosen one's power, they are reminded of the infinite potential that lies within them, waiting to be awakened. This is not a moment of passive observation. It is a moment of profound transformation. The power of the chosen one is a force that transcends human understanding, reshaping the very fabric of reality and awakening a deep, unspoken recognition within each soul present. It is a call to rise to embrace the divine within and to step into the extraordinary life that has always been waiting for them. The energy of the chosen one does not simply alter the world, it alters the soul, calling humanity to remember its true nature and step into the fullness of its divine potential. As the chosen one's power radiates through the air, it begins to pierce the hearts of even the most skeptical. What was once seen as a far-off tale A myth constructed in the minds of the hopeful is now standing before them in undeniable form. For those who had held on to doubt, who had turned away from belief, and who had dismissed the stories as mere fantasy, there is no longer any room for denial. The chosen one's presence is not merely a display of power. It is a living force, an energy so real and so profound that it cannot be ignored. The skeptical among the crowd find their disbelief slowly crumbling, their resistance wearing thin as they feel the weight of the chosen one's presence. It is as though an invisible force is drawing them closer, pulling them toward the truth that they had once rejected. The very air around them seems to vibrate with the energy of revelation, and in that moment, there is no longer a choice but to acknowledge what is unfolding. They feel it deep within their bones, an undeniable shift in the fabric of reality. The power of the chosen one is not simply a thing to be seen, it is a thing to be felt, to be experienced. And in that experience, the skeptical are transformed. One by one, those who had stood apart, arms crossed, minds skeptical, are slowly but surely overcome with a wave of understanding. It begins subtly, a shift in their stance, a softening in their eyes, a moment of stillness as they realize that they can no longer cling to their doubt. They look around at those who are already caught in the moment, their expressions filled with awe, and the change becomes undeniable. The chosen one is not just a figure of power. They are the embodiment of truth, the fulfillment of promises that have spanned generations, the living proof of something beyond what the human mind can comprehend. As the witnesses stand together in the presence of the chosen one, the skepticism begins to melt away. It is not a sudden explosion, but a gradual awakening. What was once a closed door of disbelief is now opening, and the light of understanding pours through. The emotional shift in the crowd is palpable. The once hardened faces of those who doubted are now softening their eyes wide with the realization that they are witnessing something extraordinary. The air seems to hum with anticipation, and the very energy of the crowd shifts from one of detachment to one of reverence. No longer are they spectators of a grand performance. They are participants in the divine revelation that is unfolding. They feel the weight of it, the gravity of this moment, and they realize that they are standing on the precipice of a new understanding, one that transcends logic, reason, and all that they had once thought was true. This transformation is not just intellectual. It is deeply emotional, deeply spiritual. As the chosen one's presence continues to unfold, those who had once questioned the very existence of such power are now standing in silent reverence, their hearts full of awe. The walls that had once separated them from belief are crumbling piece by piece as they begin to comprehend that this moment is not just extraordinary, it is sacred. The shift in the crowd is not just one of belief, it is one of connection. As the energy of the chosen one fills the space, each individual begins to realize that they are not separate from the divine power that they are witnessing. They are a part of it. The doubt that once separated them from the experience is now replaced by a profound sense of unity, of interconnectedness, and of shared understanding. They are no longer on the outside looking in. They are inside the experience, part of the greater revelation that is taking place. This emotional shift is so powerful that it transcends the physical realm. The transformation from skepticism to reverence is not a mere change in belief. It is a transformation in the very essence of who they are. As they stand in the presence of the Chosen One, they are not just witnesses to power. They are witnesses to a truth that is greater than themselves. They realize that this truth is not bound by the limitations of logic, reason, or human understanding. It is a truth that speaks directly to the soul, to the deepest part of their being. And in that moment, they are awakened to something far beyond the material world. The presence of the Chosen One brings with it a realization that logic and reason are limited tools when it comes to understanding the divine. What they are witnessing is not something that can be grasped by intellect alone. It transcends human comprehension. It reaches into the very fabric of existence, touching the core of each individual's spirit. The Chosen One's presence is not bound by the laws of nature as humans understand them. It exists beyond those laws, outside of the constraints of ordinary existence. This understanding shatters the boundaries that the skeptical once held on to. They had believed that everything could be explained, that everything had a logical answer. But now they are forced to confront the reality that there are things in this world that cannot be explained. The Chosen One stands as proof of this, a living embodiment of something beyond reason, something beyond what they thought possible. The emotional and spiritual shift that takes place in this moment is profound. The skeptical are no longer just transformed in their understanding, they are transformed in their hearts. They are awakened to the truth of their own potential, to the divinity that lies within them, and to the fact that they too are connected to something far greater than themselves. The presence of the Chosen One is not just about witnessing power. It is about recognizing the power within. It is a call to all who witness this moment to step into their own divinity, to recognize that they too are capable of greatness of transformation and of transcending the limitations they once placed on themselves. As the crowd shifts from skepticism to reverence, they begin to understand that the Chosen One's presence is not a solitary event. It is part of a greater cosmic plan. The transformation that is taking place is not just personal, it is universal. It affects not only those who stand before the Chosen One, but the entire world. As each individual in the crowd is awakened to this truth, the collective consciousness shifts. The energy of this moment spreads outwards, rippling through society, through history, and through time itself. The world is never the same again. The Chosen One's power, their presence, and the transformation of skepticism into reverence is not just a fleeting experience. It is a turning point in the collective human journey. It marks the beginning of a new era, an era where the divine is no longer an abstract concept, but a living, breathing presence that can be felt, experienced, and understood. The transformation of the crowd is not just a moment in time, it is a permanent shift in their perception of reality, in their understanding of the divine, and in their recognition of their own potential. As the witnesses stand in reverence, the Chosen One's presence continues to unfold, revealing deeper layers of truth, of power, and of divine purpose. The moment of skepticism has passed, replaced by a profound understanding that transcends all human limitations. The energy of the Chosen One continues to resonate in their hearts, guiding them toward a new understanding of themselves and their place in the universe. This transformation is not just about belief. It is about awakening to the truth that has always been there waiting to be recognized. The Chosen One is not a solitary figure. They are a catalyst for transformation, a mirror reflecting the divine potential within every individual. As the witnesses move from skepticism to reverence, they are not just witnessing a moment, they are participating in the greater unfolding of divine truth. As the Chosen One stands before the world, their presence transcends the boundaries of time and space. This is not just an isolated event in the history of one individual. It is a powerful connection between humanity's past, present, and future. The truths that have been hidden for centuries, encoded in ancient texts, forgotten rituals, and lost civilizations, are now being revealed in real time. The weight of this moment is not only felt by those who witness it, but ripples through the collective consciousness of humanity, awakening a deep recognition that this is the moment when history and destiny converge. The past, with its ancient prophecies, its sacred symbols, and its collective wisdom, is no longer distant and irrelevant. It is alive, active, and fully integrated into the present. The Chosen One, as the embodiment of these timeless truths, serves as a bridge between what was and what is to come. The significance of this moment is profound as it connects humanity to its collective history, reminding each of us that we are not isolated in time but deeply connected to those who came before us. The ancient civilizations, the spiritual teachings, the myths, and the sacred knowledge that have shaped the course of human history are now being woven back into the fabric of our shared understanding. The truths that were once hidden or misunderstood are now being brought into the light, offering humanity the opportunity to awaken to its true potential. This event is a reminder that humanity's history is not a series of disconnected events. It is a continuous thread that runs through time, linking us to the ancient wisdom of our ancestors and to the divine plan that has been unfolding for millennia. The Chosen One's presence is a call to remember, a call to recognize that we are not alone in our journey, but are part of a much greater cosmic story. As this moment of revelation unfolds, it becomes clear that humanity is standing at the crossroads of its future. The shift that is taking place is not merely one of belief or understanding. It is a shift in the very fabric of human evolution. The arrival of the Chosen One marks a pivotal moment in the evolution of consciousness itself. What was once distant, abstract, and elusive, the divine, the spiritual truths, the deeper understanding of existence, has now become accessible, tangible, and present. No longer is the divine a distant concept, an unreachable ideal. It is here now, embodied in the presence of the Chosen One. This shift is not just a philosophical change. It is a spiritual and evolutionary leap for humanity. It is the awakening of a collective consciousness that recognizes its divine nature, its interconnectedness with the universe, and its potential to create and shape the future. This moment signals the beginning of a new era, one where humanity moves beyond the limitations of the past and embraces the boundless possibilities of the future. The chosen one's arrival opens a door to a new understanding of reality, one where the spiritual and the physical are no longer separate but are integrated into a harmonious whole. The realization that the divine is no longer distant but present and accessible is a profound turning point for humanity. For generations, the divine has been viewed as something apart from human experience, something to be worshipped from a distance or sought in distant realms. But now, with the chosen one's presence, that distance is closed. The divine is here walking among us, accessible to all who are open to receiving it. This is not a passive revelation. It is an active invitation for humanity to step into its true potential. The chosen one's arrival is not just a sign of what is possible, but a call to action, a call to embrace the spiritual evolution that is now unfolding. It is a moment that challenges each individual to recognize their own divine nature and to step into their own role in the greater cosmic plan. The chosen one's presence is the catalyst for this awakening, but it is up to each of us to answer the call. As humanity collectively awakens to this truth, a new era of understanding, awakening, and spiritual growth begins. This is not a time for passive observation, but for active participation in the unfolding of a new world. The chosen one's arrival signals the beginning of a new chapter in the human story, one where the divine is no longer a mystery to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. This new era is one of spiritual growth, where humanity moves beyond the confines of materialism and embraces a deeper understanding of existence. It is an era of awakening where individuals recognize their divine potential and step into their true power. The spiritual growth that is now available to humanity is not just an individual journey, but a collective one. As the collective consciousness awakens, humanity as a whole begins to evolve, transcending the limitations that have held it back for so long. This evolution is not a linear process. It is a spiral, a journey of constant growth and expansion. The chosen one's arrival is the spark that ignites this evolution, but it is up to each individual to embrace the opportunity for growth and transformation. The shift that is taking place is not just a change in perception, it is a transformation of the soul, a reconnection with the divine that has always been within us. As this awakening spreads, it has the power to reshape the world. The future that lies ahead is not one of limitation and fear, but one of infinite possibility and divine potential. The chosen one saw its presence is the beginning of a new age, one where humanity fully realizes its potential and steps into its role as co-creators of the world to come. This is not just a time for individuals to awaken, but for humanity as a collective to step into its divine purpose. As the truths of the past are revealed and integrated into the present, humanity is called to recognize its role in the greater cosmic plan. The future is not something that is predetermined or fixed. It is something that is co-created in each moment. And as humanity embraces its divine potential, it has the power to shape the future in ways that have never before been possible. The chosen one's arrival marks the beginning of a new era of spiritual understanding, one where the divine is no longer a distant ideal, but a living, breathing force that shapes the world. The transformation that is now taking place is not just about individual enlightenment, but about the collective awakening of humanity as a whole. The time has come for humanity to step into its true potential, to embrace the divine within, and to co-create a new world that reflects the spiritual evolution that is now unfolding. This is the dawn of a new era, a new understanding, and a new way of being in the world. The Chosen One's presence is the key to unlocking this transformation, but it is up to each of us to embrace the call and step into the future that is waiting for us. The future is now, and it is a future shaped by divine purpose and infinite possibility. As the Chosen One stands before the world, their presence carries a message that transcends time, culture, and belief. This is not just a personal revelation, but a universal message for all of humanity, one that calls each individual to recognize their divine purpose and to step into the fullness of their power. The message of the Chosen One is one of empowerment, a reminder that each person is a unique, vital part of the divine plan. It is a call to acknowledge the untapped potential within, to rise above the limitations of doubt, fear, and self-imposed constraints, and to fully embrace the divine purpose that resides within the soul. The Chosen One's arrival marks the moment when individuals can no longer deny their own divine nature. The energy surrounding them is not just a force that affects those in their immediate presence. It is a call that resonates within every heart, every mind, every being. This moment is an invitation to step into one's true role in the universe, not as a passive observer, but as an active participant in the unfolding of divine destiny. It is an awakening to the reality that each individual has a unique contribution to make a purpose to fulfill and a power to wield. This message is not about domination or control. It is about alignment. It is about recognizing the divine current that flows through every person and learning to align with that energy, to allow it to guide actions, thoughts, and intentions. The Chosen One's presence calls us to embrace the unseen forces that shape our world, the forces of love, wisdom, intuition, and divine guidance. It reminds us that we are not alone in our journey, that the universe itself is conspiring in our favor to help us fulfill our purpose. To recognize this is to trust the path that has been laid out for us to believe in the unfolding of our own destiny, even when the way ahead seems unclear. It is an invitation to trust that the twists and turns, the moments of doubt and struggle, are all part of the divine design, a design that is leading us towards something far greater than we can imagine. The message of the Chosen One also highlights the significance of humility. To embrace one's divine purpose is not to boast or act out of ego, but to serve in a way that honors the higher good. Humility is the foundation upon which true power is built. The Chosen One does not use their power for personal gain or self-aggrandizement. They use it to uplift, to heal, to inspire. This is the true essence of divine empowerment, not to rise above others, but to rise in service to others, to contribute to the collective good, and to inspire others to recognize their own divine potential. Courage is another vital component of the Chosen One's message. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to move forward despite it. It is the strength to face the unknown, to take risks, and to step into the fullness of one's potential, even when the path is uncertain. The Chosen One. One's journey is a testament to the power of courage, to the willingness to face challenges, to embrace adversity, and to overcome obstacles that seem insurmountable. In this pivotal moment, the Chosen One's message serves as a reminder to all that we too are called to have courage in the face of life's difficulties. The challenges we face are not roadblocks. They are opportunities for growth, opportunities to step into our higher selves and align with our divine purpose. Finally, openness is a key aspect of the message being revealed. Openness to the lessons being presented. Openness to the divine guidance that is available to us at all times. And openness to the realization that we are all part of a greater plan. The Chosen One. One's presence reminds us to stay open to the lessons of life, to trust in the unfolding of events, and to embrace each moment with a heart that is ready to receive. It is a call to be open to the unseen forces that are always guiding us, even when we cannot fully understand them. The lessons of the Chosen One are not merely intellectual, they are spiritual. They invite us to go beyond our limited understanding and to embrace the deeper truths that lie beneath the surface of our everyday experiences. In this moment, we are reminded that we are not just human beings navigating a chaotic world. We are divine beings with a higher purpose, capable of immense transformation. The presence of the Chosen One calls us to recognize this truth, to embrace it, and to live it with courage, humility, and openness. The universal message of the Chosen One is one that resonates with all people, regardless of their background, beliefs, or experiences. It is a message of empowerment, of divine purpose, and of collective transformation. It reminds us that we are all part of a greater story, a divine narrative that is unfolding before our eyes. The Chosen One's message is not just a call to recognize their own divinity. It is a call to recognize the divinity within ourselves, within each other, and within the world around us. This is the true essence of spiritual awakening, to see the divine in all things, and to align ourselves with the higher purpose that is guiding us. As we embrace the message of the Chosen One, we are called to step into our own divine roles, to embrace the unseen forces that shape our lives, and to trust in the path that is unfolding before us. This moment is not just a revelation, it is a transformation. It is an invitation to live with purpose, to serve with humility, to act with courage, and to remain open to the lessons that are being revealed. The Chosen One's arrival marks the beginning of a new era of understanding, awakening, and spiritual growth. It is a call to embrace our divine potential and to rise to the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. This is the time to step into the fullness of who we are, to align with the divine purpose that has been waiting for us, and to contribute to the collective transformation of humanity. The Chosen One's message is a gift, a reminder of the truth that lies within us all, and a call to live in alignment with the divine plan that is unfolding before us. The presence of the Chosen One marks a profound turning point in the course of human history. This is not just an isolated event. It is the dawning of a new era, one where the boundaries between the divine and the human, between myth and reality, are no longer separate. What was once relegated to the realm of stories, legends, and distant hopes has now become tangible, visible, and undeniable. Humanity has witnessed something extraordinary, something that has always been hinted at, but never fully realized. The divine has stepped into the world in a way that cannot be ignored. This moment is not a mere spectacle. It is the beginning of an ongoing shift in understanding, a shift that invites all of humanity to awaken to the truth that has always been within them. The Chosen One is not a figure apart from us. They are the embodiment of a truth that is present in each of us, waiting to be awakened. The realization that the divine is no longer distant or separate, but is fully present among us, is a revelation that transforms everything. As the Chosen One reveals their power, their presence, and their divine purpose, they awaken a deeper understanding within each person who witnesses them. The myth has become reality. The divine has stepped into the world in human form, and in doing so, they have broken down the walls that once separated us from the greater spiritual truths that guide our existence. This is the moment when everything changes, the moment when humanity can no longer remain passive in the unfolding of the divine plan. We are no longer spectators. We are participants in this greater story. The Chosen One. Its presence calls us to embrace our own divine potential, to recognize that we too are part of this sacred journey. The era of separation, of feeling disconnected from the divine, is over. The veil has been lifted, and the truth of our shared purpose has been revealed. The divine is no longer a distant concept. It is a living, breathing force that is accessible to all who are willing to align with it. This is a call to action for each of us. We are called to step into this new era with reverence, courage, and a deep sense of responsibility. The Chosen One's arrival is not just a gift. It is a challenge to live with integrity, to act with purpose, and to contribute to the unfolding transformation of the world. We are part of something much greater than ourselves. The power of this moment does not rest solely in the hands of the Chosen One. It rests in the hearts and minds of all who are ready to embrace it. This is an era where we must rise to our fullest potential, where we must trust in the divine plan that is guiding us, and where we must act with courage in the face of uncertainty. It is a time to step into our roles as co-creators of a new world, a world where the divine and the human are no longer separate, but are intertwined in a shared journey of growth, awakening, and transformation. As we enter this new era, let us do so with reverence for the divine wisdom that is now revealed, with courage to face the challenges that lie ahead, and with a sense of shared responsibility to shape the future. This moment is not just the end of an old way of being. It is the beginning of something far greater. The world is waiting for us to step into our roles as the awakened beings we are meant to be, and the time has come for us to rise to that challenge. The Chosen One One's arrival has opened the door to a new era, and it is up to each of us to walk through that door with the grace, wisdom, and courage that will shape the future of humanity. The dawn of this new era is here, and it is ours to embrace. Let us do so with reverence, with courage, and with a deep sense of purpose. The future is waiting, and we are ready to step into it together.